My girlfriend slept with my best friend during our break, so I let them keep each other. She came back smiling like nothing happened. I said one calm line. Then her phone started blowing up because I had changed the locks, split the bills, and sent a message that made our whole group silent. Original post: my girlfriend walked into my apartment with her overnight bag and smiled like she had not spent the last week sleeping with my best friend. Her name was Madison. My best friend was Cole. I am Ryan. I was 29. Madison was 27. Cole was 29 too. We all lived in Columbus, Ohio. I worked as a logistics coordinator for a beverage distributor. Madison worked as a social media assistant for a real estate office. Cole managed a small gym. Madison and I had been together almost 3 years. She moved into my apartment 11 months before everything happened. The lease was in my name because I had the place before her. She helped with groceries and utilities. I paid most of the rent because I made more and because I thought that was what you did when you were building a future with someone. I was not perfect. I worked too much. I got quiet when I was stressed. I hated arguing. Sometimes I let things slide because I did not want another fight at midnight over dishes or phone tone or who looked at who at a birthday dinner. But I never cheated. I never played games with breaks. I never used another person to make Madison jealous. 2 weeks before she came back smiling, Madison told me she needed space, not a breakup. A break. She said she felt trapped. She said I was too comfortable. She said I had started acting like her husband without actually proposing. That one hurt because I had a ring hidden in a shoe box in my closet. I had been saving for it while also paying $1,800 in rent and trying to keep our electric bill from getting out of control. I asked what break meant. She said no dating apps, no hooking up, no revenge stuff, just space to think. I asked if that rule went both ways. She looked offended that I even asked, so I gave her space. She packed a duffel bag and said she was staying with her cousin Jenna near Dayton. I did not beg. I did not chase her to the parking lot. I told her I loved her and I hoped she found whatever answer she needed. For the first 3 days, I was miserable. I slept on the couch even though the bed was empty. I still made 2 coffees in the morning out of habit. I almost texted her every time something normal happened. Like when the dishwasher made that grinding sound again, or when the grocery store had the spicy chips she liked back in stock. Then on day 4, I saw Cole in an Instagram story wearing Madison's gray Ohio State hoodie. It was not tagged. It was just him behind the counter at his gym, laughing with 2 members, but I knew that hoodie. The left sleeve had a small bleach mark from when Madison ruined it cleaning the bathroom. I stared at the screen for a long time. I told myself not to be crazy. Cole and Madison knew each other because of me. Maybe she left it in his truck once. Maybe there was an explanation. Then I noticed Madison had not posted a single thing from Dayton. No coffee shop, no cousin's dog, no mirror selfie, nothing. On day 6, I got a Venmo notification because Cole and I still split fantasy football dues through the same group. Madison had paid him $28. The caption was Breakfast Rescue. I felt stupid for how fast my stomach dropped. I did not confront her. I did not confront him. I just watched. On day 8, my friend Tessa called me during my lunch break. Tessa had known all 3 of us since college. She sounded careful, like someone walking into a room where glass had already shattered. She asked if Madison and I were officially broken up. I said no. We were on a break. Tessa went quiet. Then she said she thought I should know Madison had not been staying in Dayton. She had been at Cole's apartment at least twice. Tessa had seen her car there because her sister lived in the same complex. I thanked her. Then I sat in my work truck for 20 minutes and felt my whole life rearrange itself. That night Madison texted me. She said she missed home. She said the break helped. She said she wanted to come back Sunday and talk like adults. I looked at that message for almost an hour. Then I did something she did not expect. I called my building manager the next morning and asked about changing the door code. Madison was not on the lease. She had a spare key and access code because I trusted her. The manager said he could reset the code and I could bring the spare key to the office. I spent Saturday packing her stuff, not angrily, not dramatically. I folded her sweaters. I put her makeup in a small box. I wrapped her favorite mug in a towel. I separated her mail. I even packed the cereal she liked because I knew she bought it. That was the worst part, respecting someone while realizing they did not respect you. Then I opened our shared bill spreadsheet and removed her from everything that was mine: streaming accounts, grocery subscription, electric auto-pay reminder, apartment parking app. I paid the final utility balance myself because I did not want one more reason to talk. Sunday afternoon. She came in smiling because she still had the old key. It did not work. She knocked, then called. I opened the door with the chain still on. She laughed and said the key was acting weird. I said the key was not acting weird. The relationship was over. Her smile disappeared like someone pulled a plug. She asked what I was talking about. I told her I knew about Cole. She blinked once. Then she said we were on a break. That was when I knew she had already rehearsed that line. I said a break was space, not a free pass to sleep with my best friend and come home like nothing happened. She tried to push the door open. I did not let her. I told her things were packed and she could come get them with Jenna or her sister. Not Cole, not alone, not tonight. Her face changed from shock to angry. She said I was being cruel. I said sleeping with my best friend and then coming home smiling was cruel. Then I closed the door. 5 minutes later, my phone started exploding. Update 1 by 6 that evening. Madison had called me 31 times. I did not answer. She texted that I was overreacting, then that she was sorry. Then that I had emotionally abandoned her first. Then that I was making her homeless. Then that if I loved her, I would open the door and talk. Cole texted me once. He said he never meant for it to happen. That sentence almost made me laugh because it sounded like a lamp broke. Not a friendship. I did not reply to him either. Then the friend group started. First it was Derek. He said Madison was crying in her car and I should at least let her inside. Then Harper texted me saying nobody knew the rules of our break and maybe I needed to cool down. Then my own mother called because Madison had called her. My mom asked if I had really locked Madison out with nowhere to go. That one got to me because Madison knew my mom had a soft spot for anyone crying. I told my mom the truth. I said Madison had somewhere to go. She had Cole's apartment. She had been there all week. My mom went quiet. Then she said she was sorry and told me not to answer any more calls that night. Around 8. Tessa sent me screenshots. That was the first real twist. Madison had been in a group chat with Jenna and another friend named Alyssa. In those messages, Madison was not acting confused. She was not acting broken. She was joking about how I would probably panic and finally propose when she came back. One message said I needed to feel what life was like without her. Another said Cole made her feel wanted again. Then Jenna asked if I knew. Madison replied that if I found out she would say we were on a break. I sat on my kitchen floor reading that message until the screen went dark. I was angry, but more than that, I was embarrassed, because while I was sleeping on the couch and making 2 coffees by accident, she was turning my grief into a strategy. The next morning, I went to work at 6 like usual. I loaded delivery schedules, answered vendor emails, pretended my life had not cracked open in the middle of a normal Sunday. At noon, Madison showed up at my office. She knew I hated scenes. That was why she came. She knew I would rather chew glass than have my coworkers see relationship drama in the parking lot. She was standing by my truck with sunglasses on and her arms crossed. When I walked out, she started crying before I even reached her. She said she made a mistake. She said Cole meant nothing. She said the break confused her. She said I was punishing her because my pride was hurt. I told her my pride was not the thing that got betrayed. She said she wanted to come home. I said she did not have a home with me anymore. Then she stepped closer and lowered her voice. She said I was throwing away 3 years over one bad week. That was when I asked her one question. I asked if it was only 1 week. She froze for half a second. That half second told me more than any confession. She said yes, of course, just the break. I nodded and walked back inside. When I got home, Cole was parked across the street. He was sitting in his black Tacoma with the engine running. He looked like he wanted to talk but did not want to get out. I walked past him and went inside. A few minutes later, he texted again. He said Madison told him the relationship was basically over. He said she made it sound like I knew. He said he had been drinking the first night and things just happened. First night. That was the second twist. Madison told me it had only been during the break after she left. Cole accidentally confirmed it started the first night. The same night she drove away from our apartment crying in my hoodie. I asked him one thing. I asked what first night meant. He did not answer. Then he blocked me. That was when I stopped feeling confused. I opened the friend group chat. The same group where people had been asking me to be mature. I typed one message. I said I was ending things with Madison and Cole. I said I would not explain myself over and over. I said anyone who wanted the truth could ask Madison why she planned the break before she took it. Then I sent 2 screenshots from Tessa. Not 20. Not enough to humiliate her, just enough to stop the lie. The group chat went silent for almost 10 minutes. Then Madison left it. Then Cole left it. That silence felt louder than any apology. Update 2: the strongest reveal came from someone I barely knew. Alyssa called me that night. She was Madison's friend, not mine. We had only met maybe 6 times. She sounded nervous and said she did not like being involved. But she also did not like what Madison was saying about me. She told me Madison had been talking about Cole before the break. Not joking. Not harmless flirting. Real conversations. Madison had told Jenna and Alyssa that Cole was fun and intense and made her feel like the version of herself she missed. She said I was stable but boring. She said I was the kind of guy you marry after you get the chaos out of your system. That line did something to me, because I had been proud of being stable. I thought being reliable was love. I thought paying bills on time, remembering oil changes, showing up at her work events, bringing soup when she was sick, and picking her mom up from the airport at 11 at night meant I was building something. To her, I was the safe option waiting in the driveway while she checked if chaos was more exciting. Alyssa said the break was not random. Madison had talked about doing it the week before. She said she needed a clean window. That was the phrase Alyssa remembered. A clean window. I thanked her and hung up. I did not cry right away. I cleaned my kitchen. I took out trash. I vacuumed the hallway. I did laundry even though half the basket was her stuff I had missed. Then I found the ring box in the back of my closet. I opened it and felt nothing for about 5 seconds. Then I laughed once. Not because anything was funny. Because I had almost proposed to someone who had created a clean window to betray me. The next day was the belongings pickup. I told Madison she could come at 7 with her sister Erin. I asked my cousin Marcus to be there too, not for drama, just so there was another person in the apartment. Madison arrived at 7:10. She did not bring Erin. She brought Cole. That was the moment any tiny soft part of me shut down. Cole stood behind her like a kid being taken to the principal's office. He would not look at me. Madison walked in like she still had rights to the space. She looked around at the boxes and started crying again. She picked up the framed photo from our Asheville trip and said she could not believe I packed us away so easily. I told her she packed us away first. She said I was cold. I said no. I was finally accurate. Cole muttered that we should all calm down. I looked at him for the first time and asked if he calmed down when he slept with my girlfriend. He went red and looked at the floor. Madison snapped at me and said I was trying to shame her. I said she brought him to my apartment after telling me he meant nothing. Marcus started carrying boxes to the hallway. Madison followed him and suddenly her tone changed. She asked if we could talk alone for 5 minutes. I said no. She said she still loved me. I said she loved having a place to come back to. That landed. I saw it land. Then she said something I will never forget. She said she did not think I would actually leave. Not that she thought I would understand. Not that she thought we could heal. Not that she thought love would win. She did not think I would leave. That was the whole relationship in one sentence. She thought my love made me predictable. After they left, I noticed two things missing: my small Bluetooth speaker and my emergency cash envelope from the junk drawer. It had about $200 in it. I texted Madison one final time about the missing items. She denied taking them. Then she said maybe I misplaced them because I was emotional. 10 minutes later, Cole texted Marcus by mistake. He asked if Madison put the cash in the glove box or her purse. Marcus sent me the screenshot. I did not threaten them. I did not call police. I did not start some big legal fight over $200 and a speaker. I sent the screenshot to Madison and wrote that she had until Friday to return both items to the leasing office. After that, any remaining belongings of hers would also be left there with the building manager. She returned them the next morning. No apology, just a grocery bag with the speaker, the envelope, and a sticky note that said I had changed. She was right. Final update: it has been 7 weeks. Madison and Cole lasted 11 days after she moved her things out. I only know because Derek told me without me asking. Apparently once it was not a secret anymore. It stopped feeling exciting. Cole got tired of the crying. Madison got tired of his small apartment and his protein powder all over the kitchen counter. That should have felt satisfying. It did not. What felt satisfying was waking up in a quiet apartment and not checking if someone was mad at me before I brushed my teeth. I changed the living room around. I sold the couch we picked together and bought a cheaper one from Facebook Marketplace. I started going to the gym before work, not Cole's gym, a different one across town where nobody knew my story. I returned the ring. The jeweler asked if I wanted store credit. I said no. I wanted the money back. I used part of it to pay off my credit card and part of it to take my younger sister to dinner because she had listened to me talk in circles for 3 straight weeks. Madison has texted from 2 different numbers. The first message said she hoped one day I could remember the good parts. The second said she was sorry for how messy everything got. I did not respond because that was the final boundary. Not every apology needs an audience. Not every regret deserves access. Cole sent a longer message through Derek. He said he missed his best friend. He said he hated himself. He said Madison made it sound complicated. I told Derek not to pass messages anymore. The truth is, I missed Cole too. That is the part people do not always understand. Losing a partner hurts. Losing the person you would have called about that pain is a different kind of empty, but I do not want a best friend who needs a technicality to betray me. And I do not want a girlfriend who treats a break like a coupon for disloyalty. I was not perfect in that relationship. I could have communicated better. I could have been more present. I could have admitted earlier that we were drifting instead of pretending stability would fix everything. But none of that made betrayal my fault. That took me time to accept. The biggest lesson I learned is that boundaries can look cruel to people who benefited from you having none. Madison expected me to open the door because I always had before. Cole expected me to hear him out because I always gave him the benefit of the doubt. The friend group expected me to explain myself gently because I was usually the calm one. But calm does not mean available, and love does not mean unlocked, so I let them keep each other. Then they lost each other too. Meanwhile, I kept my peace. If this story hit close to home, subscribe for more stories like this, like the video. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, and comment if you have faced something similar or what your opinion is.